Panthers Nation, what up, dudes? Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk, bringing you recap and analysis of the NFL and the Carolina Panthers. And in today's video, we have a special edition. Yes, I rarely collab, but I had to do a joint video with my guy Phil from Panthers Post. Here's a great YouTube channel. If you have not seen him, I'll add it down below in the description. We did a two-part series, and he has part one on his channel. I have part two, where we talked about pre-draft hype, the hype around the jerseys that would have been or could have been. We talked about some team needs for the draft. We also talked about some realistic expectations for the quarterback that we pick up and what we think could happen with this offense and what it might look like. It was a whole lot of fun. So I really, really enjoyed this, and I really want you guys to check it out. So make sure you check out Phil's channel for part one. But right now, we're getting into part two. But before we get into that too deep, make sure you are subscribed down below. Hit the bell icon if you have not, because like I said, I do recap and analysis of the Panthers. When the draft happens, I'll be doing film breakdowns on the guys we pick up. So make sure you guys are subscribed and hit the bell icon. That way you don't miss anything, because the draft is going to be amazing. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, I mean, we talked about day two and stuff, because breaking news, we are picking more than just the number one overall pick and just a quarterback. And there's more than just quarterbacks in this draft. I know it's a hot take, but it had to be said. Regardless, we have some other needs. I know some people feel some type of way about what needs are higher priority. So I want to talk about, what do you think? Scott Fitter has been on record. They've asked him multiple times. Obviously, the latest, he talked about edge, linebacker, a receiver would be nice, boosting up the offensive line always, which I think is a great idea, and just other things as well. But he said that he's not a. We know Scott Fitter can be very revealing with information to the benefit of us, but maybe to the detriment of strategy. But I wanted to figure out, or talk to you and see what you thought about our needs as far as outside of quarterback, and how would you rank them? You can use the positions that he said if you wanted to, or you could say what other positions you need and just why you think they're a certain priority over the others.
Well, I was thinking, like, what made the Panthers so great in 2015 was that, our defense was elite, and it gave Cam and let's be honest, like the C+ level wide receivers that they had, a short field, and when you have a battering ram like Cam and you had Jonathan Stewart and you had Tolbert, it was easy to score touchdowns, and it was that defense that made it great. So I've been coming around to adding to the defense, specifically on the defensive line. I know we got the new defensive coordinator with the 3-4 defense, but they're saying they only play that scheme like 20% of the time. And the way I see they build the defensive line is someone getting opposite of Brian Burns. Brian Burns is a long, lanky guy with a lot of strength and power as well. But if we can get someone who is like just like a power guy, and kind of like how you build a basketball team, you got normally like your short point guard, you got your tall center, you got your wings. I feel like if we can get someone that does the opposite of what Brian Burns does, who's not the long, lanky, skinny, powerful guy, but like short, stocky bulldozer kind of guy. Yeah. So I'm looking at the edge. I like that Will McDonald guy out of Iowa State. I like Hall out of Auburn. He's kind of got the Aaron Donald physique, like the super long arms, low center of gravity, but chunky and just got that power. Yeah. And so I feel like that'd be a nice 1-2 punch. But then I go back to Scott talking about it being a sexy draft, and edge could be sexy, like their body beautiful too. But then I think about okay, this is not really a wide receiver draft. If you want to just talk about playmaker draft, like I'm obsessed with the tight ends, but we have so many tight ends on our team. Like unless they, not like I've always kind of liked Tommy Tremble. I thought he can still grow, and I find that tight ends kind of develop a bit slower, anyways. But I was hot and heavy for, whether it's the cat out of Georgia, Washington, whether it's I think Dalton Kincaid's a first-round guy, Musgraves, two-sport athlete, physical freak, not a lot of tread on the tires. And, I always felt that, a rookie quarterback's best friend, not just a great defense, but a pass-catching tight end that's athletic and can get open. Is a physical mismatch. But I'm not seeing that as much anymore. It's something that I would like, but it looks like it's edge. Like, I think the professional thing to do is probably edge, corner, and then maybe a late round like fourth. I saw Cameron Lutu mocked to the Panthers a bit later. That was Alabama's tight end with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Apparently he also scored really high on the S2 test. Maybe they cheated off each other.
Same score.
They got the the Jedi mind tricks with each other. So maybe that a little bit later. So I'd have to put aside my wants and put need in. And let's talk about our corners, man. They can't get healthy. Like, I love JC. I want JC to be this Mamba mentality, rock solid corner, but the guy can't stay healthy with his feet and so, or with his hand in that one case. He broke his hand, right? Is that what happened?
This year before that Bucks game, he broke his hand. Friendly fire.
Yeah, brutal. And so, I could see corner being the pick in the third, and then maybe later on some more of the take more flyers on a tight end because this is a deeper tight end class. I was also thinking, like, Detroit's Jameson Williams is not playing this year. Like, I don't know, could the Panthers do what the Jaguars did, and maybe did they release Jameson Williams?
No, I think he only got I think he got 6 games. He didn't get the full year. He kind of missed that because I think he didn't bet on the NFL. He just bet on NFL like grounds. Like, you can't bet. Like, I think he bet like UFC or college football, something like that.
Okay.
But you can't do it in an NFL facility. So, like, he was using company Wi-Fi to place bets. So you can't do that. That's the thing. And that's why his punishment wasn't as severe as a Calvin.
Okay.
Some guys did, though. That's why they got the axe. But Jameson,
it's crazy to talk about, like, if they're not betting on the NFL games that they're currently playing in, like, they literally have betting ads everywhere. Like, here in Canada, you can't watch a game that doesn't get interrupted at least 5 times in 15 minutes with betting ads. Like, literally, like, here are the live lines. Like, it's crazy. It's wild.
And the NBA is like that too. They're like, oh, this is the opening spread at not minus 7.5, but now the live spread is minus 10.5. Let's proceed. And then they're like, oh, pause the game. Chuck, who do you think is going to have the higher score? Who's going to go over under this? It's like, you're sponsored by DraftKings. You're sponsored by FanDuel. Every other commercial. It's like, I mean,
actually, here in Canada, here in Ontario, where online sport, single game betting has only been legal for about a year now. They're trying to make a law where celebrities and influencers and athletes can no longer be in ads. So I'm like, well, who the hell is going to be in this ad then?
I see Drake pushing. What is that one called? Is it Stake? Yeah. He's always like playing online casino. Oh, Drake just won $2 million on Stake. It's like, dude, you probably gave him $1 million in credit for being an influencer, and he's betting this stuff.
They're trying to stop that. They're treating gambling here like smoking. They're just like, hey, you can't have celebrities do this anymore. Well, then you're not gonna have ads. Your ads are just gonna be like, just like font, just words. That's it. They can't, like, that's how commercials work. You get famous people to do stuff, but I don't know. I don't know anybody who's gotten broke from gambling yet. Like, I haven't gambled since my new gig. I was just doing like $10 on a Friday. Just to like set up some stupid, egregious parlays for the NFL season. The best win I ever had, though, was like an eight leg parlay. I did it before I left to Seattle, and I won. And so it paid for my trip, and I was like, great. Nice. And it was great. Since then it's been not great. But,
I always do better in person than I do like online for some reason. Like, whenever I go to Vegas or I'll drive up to North Carolina to Harris and bet there, now that it's legal, I always do better in person. I don't know if I'm just more like seeing the cash leave my hand is actually like makes me more responsible and smarter about it. But like, just pushing the button, I'm like, all right, F it. I don't care.
Yeah, $10, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so that's me. Yeah, edge, corner, I think late round tight end, like linebacker or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about any more wide. Like, I would like to add to the wide receiver group. Like, if that Mingo guy out of Ole Miss, I feel like he's creeping up to the second round now. So I don't know, but he seems like if you look at our wide receiver core, it's a pretty big wide receiver core minus Damiere Byrd and Shi Smith, but we still don't have that burner, and so I guess that's where the Hyatts come in, and the Tank Bell, or Tank Dell. Is it Tank Dell or Tank Bell?
Dell.
Okay, that's where those guys come in, I guess. But what about you? Like, what's your hierarchy?
For me, I mean, I can't deny edge because it's been mentioned so many times. Do I think we should go edge in the second round? That's to be told. I don't think we're going to get a full-time starter in the second on at edge, in my opinion. I like McDonald. They've comped him to Hassan Reddick, which just makes me get all jittery just hearing that
Yep.
again, So, I mean, I would love that. But he's not very stout against the run either. He's played some inside in college, but I don't know. To me, I just think we need juice on offense, man. Like, our Ajiro, they got rid of Bradley Chubb last year and still had a great defense. They getting after the quarterback was still kind of whatever, but the Broncos still had an elite defense after they traded Bradley Chubb. So he can scheme up rushes and stuff. And I probably couldn't tell you any of their linebackers or D linemen. I'm not an avid Broncos fan, but they don't have any household names, I would say.
Right.
But I have a little bit more trust for Ajiro there. I think the secondary is the big thing for his defense, which is why we signed 18 safeties so far this offseason. I think he uses those safeties a lot as linebackers and stuff like that. Regardless, edge is not my top priority. I think a playmaker is period. I just TMJ, I love him. I love the potential. He's not proven yet. The ability is there. The size is there. The speed is there. This man hasn't played 17 games since he's been in the league. We're just banking on him, hopefully playing double-digit games this year. If you're relying on him to be your juice and speed guy, the only guy you have, we're gonna be in trouble if you're counting on a guy that can't really stay healthy. I love Thielen. He's clutch. The separation isn't always there, but he still can make contested catches. He's crafty in the red zone, so that'll be good. He's smart. Bryce is smart, so I see that connection. Still doesn't have the juice that he once had. We need playmakers that can easy completions. We used to steal yards with checkdowns to Christian McCaffrey. And we saw what it did for Cameron when they kind of revamped the offense and brought him in. It boosted his completion percentage. The yardage was there. It's free. It's almost free yards. So if a Jahmyr Gibbs was there, I would be open to that just because he brings something that we don't have. And I know saying playmaker is just kind of general, but if it's a wide receiver like a Flowers, who I don't see falling, but if he's there, if Addison is there, I'm running to the podium and giving the ticket for Addison. I do like Mingo as well, off of maybe a trade back if we trade back in the second. But to me, playmaker is the top priority after quarterback because I want to have an embarrassment of riches for our quarterback. I don't want to do like we did with Cam, and I guess he had some weapons initially, but after a while, once he kind of started to grow, we kind of just said, okay, Superman, figure it out type stuff. No, we need weapons. I mean, our offense, we shouldn't have to be so methodical. Big plays are good, so being methodical, just moving the chains and then whatever, it can get you in trouble. You need to be able to get big plays. So we need some juice. After that, I would definitely say edge as the second priority for most of the reasons that you named, because we need somebody outside of Brian Burns to be able to get home. Obviously, Derek Brown, we would like for him to take a pass rushing step. In that essence, he took a step in general from inside, but we could use some inside rush as well. But I think having bookends is very ideal. Now, I still think we should get a vet, and then whatever rookie we draft, create a rotation. That way, we're not putting a big amount of pressure on a guy to be a full-time starter. That may not be a top pick, So I think this edge draft is deep, but it's very top heavy as far as like a plug and play type of guy. After that, I would probably say corner. I like Darius Rush. I'm a little impartial because I'm a South Carolina fan as well, and he's round 3, round 4 type of guy. So I'm not big on going corner in round 2 because I love Rush. Former wide receiver, has great route recognition. He's huge, and we already have J.C. Horn. So let's go back to the well for DBU and get another corner. And after that, I'd probably say linebacker just because they've talked about it so many times. And I think you can find depth at linebacker in the draft later. It happens time after time. I think the numbers are like the same thing that people say don't draft a running back in the first round. I think the numbers say the same thing about linebacker. So I'm going to say linebacker after that as well. But anything at boosting that offensive line, I think we got Cade Mays in the 6th. You can get developmental rotational linemen in the mid rounds, later rounds. I would like to trade back and get some later picks because being done at the round 5 doesn't seem like
I had to double check that. I'm like, wait, what? We have nothing else?
That doesn't seem like fit style, So I feel like he'll make a trade at some point to move back and get more. But definitely offensive line because we know our Our interior is kind of beat up right now, but I always think you should draft offensive linemen every year just because, at least take flyers, because you never know. Andrew Norwell was undrafted free agent. We developed him
Right.
into an all pro. Obviously,
Yeah.
Panthers style, we always grow these players and let them go and they do whatever. But you can get linemen anywhere in the draft. Obviously, we got Icky at top 5, well, top 6 last year, but
Yeah.
you can develop offensive linemen later in the draft, and especially with the offensive
Yeah.
line coach we have, man. I trust our offensive line coach. So
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad our offensive line coach opted to stay. It's funny. It's going to be different now. I feel like Carolina's not going to be a stepping stone anymore. Now they got this franchise. People are going to want to come.
yeah,
And with the cap space about to explode, was it next year or year after that? Like I think,
yep,
I think people are going to eventually see. They're going to. I think the free agents are ever going to see how Carolina does this year. Like, whoa, I want to be a part of that. So I'm with you. Like I said before, like professionally, if I was Scott Fitter, yeah, I'd look at like edge, corner, and then playmakers. But if I was the GM and they gave me the keys, yeah, I'm playmaker second round. Like
yeah,
I've mocked Jahmyr Gibbs for months now. I'm like, that guy's just so electric. He's like our
yeah,
own. Alvin Kamara gave us so many headaches. He reminds
yes,
me of him, and I feel like that'd be great. And just like the Alabama connection as well. I would love, like I said before, like a big tight end like Darnell Washington. Like my God, like red zone beast. And I've talked about before, like I could see a guy like Tommy Tremble getting, I don't know, can you trade guys? Yeah, you can trade players during the draft. Aaron Rodgers is slated to be traded during the draft, but I can see guys like Tommy Tremble getting traded for some, like a sixth or something to get that extra pick or something else. And I could see that happening, and then kind of giving the keys to Hayden Hurst. Ian Thomas could still kind of be that vet guy, the blocking tight end, and then you got this rookie, physical freak in the wake, like waiting to make a name of themselves. I would love that. I would love for them to go, wide receiver or tight end wide receiver back to back, and just have this plethora of riches, like you said. Because we can't. They're smart. Scott Fitter was with the Seahawks when they played Cam and the Panthers. Like he knows what Cam was working with. He's like, let's not make that mistake again. Let's give him some weapons. Let's give our guys some weapons to make up for the fact that he's a bit smaller guy, and quick reads, and kind of beat up that defense. But that's the other thing. Like, let's talk about it. Like, how would you want our offense to be built to help a rookie quarterback, assuming it's Bryce? Because it seems like I think Smoke Tree season's done. Like, I think
yeah,
it's probably going to be Bryce.
yeah.
Like, how would you build this offense? Thomas Brown offense, the Thomas Brown, Frank Reich, Jim Caldwell, fucking everybody offense.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what it's going to look like. I think
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I mean, it's going to be such a intersection of like different philosophies and like brilliant offensive minds. Like any speculation of what we're going to look like seems crazy to me. I'm
yeah,
excited about that though. That's kind of the exciting part just in general. But obviously with the guys we have and stuff. But I agree. Like I think that we need a Jameer Gibbs type guy. I think if you want to go diet Jameer Gibbs, maybe a Tajay Spears,
yep,
or even,
love him.
what I'm saying, guys like that they're quick, they can make a couple guys miss. Because think about it, like you said, Alvin Kamara gave us fits, but Drew Brees being a shorter quarterback, he always knew where his check down was. He always got the ball out quick. It seemed like no matter who we had rushing the passer, unless they just blew a blocking assignment, we weren't getting home. Yeah, Brian Burns like destroyed him a few different times, but like he gets rid of the ball so fast that it's almost impossible to get home. And I think that's what our offense should be built with. Let Bryce just play point guard, like they said. Don't try to put the team on his back. Don't have to run around all the time and put yourself in harm's way of getting hit. Let's get rid of the ball quick. I mean, I want a short time to throw. Let's pound the rock. We got Miles. We got Chuba. I wouldn't mind bringing in another back, honestly, a late flyer if we get an extra pick. I think there's going to be undrafted free agent backs. They're going to be quality backs too, just because it's,
Yeah, power
excuse me.
backs. I want a power back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this class is loaded. Chris Rodriguez is a power back out of Kentucky. He's good,
yeah,
but I think he'll get drafted. But I still think there'll be some undrafted running backs that are good. We'll just have to obviously bring them in. But I think it's going to be pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, play action boot, getting the ball out of his hands quick. I don't think they're going to put him in harm's way. The reason why we're probably looking at interior offensive linemen as well is because that's the first place you have to protect for those short quarterbacks. You may say, oh, you put a big lineman in his face, he can't see through the window. No. If you put pressure up in the middle, he can't escape that. You can dip under and step up and escape out of the back door with edge rushes, but if you don't protect that interior, it's a wrap. And I think that's a big thing that the Saints did back in the day when they had Drew as a pocket passer. And I just think that it'll have to be quick hitters, left and right. Like I said, that's why I think we need at least one more playmaker. I like Laviska, but he doesn't have. I want somebody with a little bit more versatility as far as what they can do instead of just the Laviska left, Laviska right, everybody block for him type of plays.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like Laviska does, he's got to get into shape. I don't know. He makes a big run. I'm like, my God, is he going to be available the rest of the game? Like he looks so gassed. Like just get Laviska young, like a younger Laviska. Someone. That's where that the Mingo cat. I can't remember his name, but where is he? I have him here. I just literally have his name
Jonathan.
right. Jonathan Mingo. But yeah, like I feel like he could be a guy that could fit in that mold. But yeah, no, if when Bryce had the weapons that he had in Bama, the proper ones, like A-type weapons, dude won the Heisman, and like, and so I think they can do it. I think, like fan me wants fun, exciting players, and letting Jared Everett cook, and then just let that defense make them proud. I'm excited to see what they do with Jeremy Chin and with Frankie Louvu, and so I feel like I think the defense is kind of nice. You can get some late flies, like you said, a linebacker from in like the 5th round from like Montana State or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'd love for them to go skill 2nd and 3rd round for sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, I do have to go to work soon, but
me too.
Yes. Okay.
Even though I'm working from home, so it is what it is. But I appreciate you taking the time, Phil. It's always a pleasure. We can't wait another 6 months before we collab again. That can't happen. That can't happen. So let's go ahead and start scheduling our next one sometime soon. I guess maybe after like mini camp or something. Once rookie camp is over or something like that. We can,
and let's schedule a meetup. Maybe go to Charlotte or something. I don't know what the schedule is like. I got a wedding in August, so I might be under house arrest after that. It's like literally we're going to a bachelor party, wedding. So I don't know what state I'm going to be in, but I got to go to a game. I got to watch whoever our new quarterback is live. We got to work something out, and it'll be great.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate the time, man. I'll make my way up to Charlotte at some point. I'm sure I'm going to try for the home opener regardless. But you guys make sure you check out Phil's channel for everything. He's giving away a jersey. That's big time.
I'm getting desperate. Yeah.
Look, bribery is a tactic that is very, very influential. So I would definitely recommend tuning into Panthers post for that jersey giveaway. I'm gonna have to enter myself. I love me a jersey. So we'll see how it goes. But it's always a pleasure, Phil, man. So I'll see you guys next time. We out of here.
All right. All right, Aaron. Thanks so much.